You know what? I never formally introduced myself on this channel. The name's Ari. Joseph Ari. SPECTRE. Now, SPECTRE is the latest installment in the 007 franchise. It is the fourth movie to star Daniel Craig and the second to be directed by Sam Mendes, who recently gave us Skyfall. The film also stars Christoph Waltz and Lea Seydoux. And in the movie, James Bond receives this very cryptic message that soon leads him to this evil and mysterious organization only known as SPECTRE. While trying to uncover their secrets and trying to take them out, James Bond also has to confront his very own personal demons from his past. Now, I was really looking forward to this film. It was actually on my most anticipated list of the entire year. I loved what they did with the Daniel Craig series. Casino Royale was a brilliant reboot of Ian Fleming's novel. For the very first time, I felt like James Bond was actually a person with problems, a cold-blooded assassin. Quantum of Solace, yes, was a piece of shit, but Skyfall, oh my god, Skyfall is hands down my favorite Bond movie. It actually added so much more to the character of James Bond. They portrayed him as a guy with a dark past that also suffers from substance abuse. I mean, how great is that? And it's absolutely breaking my heart to tell you that SPECTRE is a disappointment. But first, let's address the positives. The cinematography in this movie is flawless. Seriously, this is a movie that is shot to perfection. Every single shot in this movie is riveting. The very first shot of this film is a continuous tracking shot. It's like 6 or 7 minutes long. You're like, holy shit, you're sucked into the story from the get-go. You're like, oh my god, this movie is going to be amazing, fantastic, tension-filled, badass, relatable, and realistic. Sadly, it wasn't, but this first shot makes you think it could be. And the acting, overall, everyone gives the best they possibly could with the material at hand. Daniel Craig is still fantastic as James Bond. He's still cold-blooded. He's still an assassin, and I love the fact that they call him an assassin in these movies. That's always amazing. He still has a substance abuse problem, and yeah, this time it's a really personal story when it comes to James Bond. I love the fact that they brought all the supporting characters from Skyfall back. M, Q, and Moneypenny. These characters are actually important in Skyfall and in SPECTRE, which is something I love because they're not just in the movie for the sake of having an M, a Moneypenny, or a Q. No, these people have their own relationship with James Bond, and that's awesome. Lea Seydoux is a very good actress, and she does a good job in the movie. However, the chemistry between her and James Bond is so forced. It comes out of nowhere, and you're like, how the fuck did you go from not knowing one another to, I love you? It's like, what the fuck? Which leads me to my main issue of the entire film. The script. Seriously, this is one of the worst Bond scripts ever. Why? Because it's campy, it's cheesy, and it takes a shit on everything that Skyfall or Casino Royale brilliantly set up. Yes, this is a straight up sequel, and all of a sudden, all those campy elements that we know from the Roger Moore films are in this flick. The silly humor that is completely misplaced, all of a sudden it's there. Those freaky little gadgets like exploding watches or super enhanced cars. I'm like, well, if you're not even gonna take this seriously anymore, how do you expect me to take it seriously? And that creates such a shift in tone that just didn't work for me. The movie starts out grim as usual, and then the first joke happened. I was like, where'd that come from? Then the next shenanigan happened. I was like, what? And then it turned into a straight up comedy movie. I was like, okay, maybe it's a stupid action film, but I enjoy it for what it is. Maybe I'll give it the bronze medal. And then it happened. Once they introduced the villains, like, for real, it's the most cartoony shit ever. I felt like I was watching an Austin Powers movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my underground lair. I have gathered here before me the world's deadliest assassins, and yet each of you has failed to kill Austin Powers.
Seriously, it was that bad. Dave Bautista in the film, he's a complete cartoon. He's this tough guy that's like, bruh, Bautista smash. Seriously, he was like the Hulk, and it didn't make sense. I didn't buy it. The audience didn't buy it. People were just laughing their asses off, and yeah, we don't want caricatures. We want characters, because we're used to characters from The Amazing Skyfall and The Amazing Casino Royale. And yeah, we gotta talk about Christoph Waltz. I love Christoph Waltz. That man was born to play a Bond villain. He pretty much played one in Inglourious Basterds, which is a movie that I soon will review. And again, he was marketed as this big evil, and he's in like 3 sequences where you're like, why? And yes, he does give a terrific performance, but even an actor of his caliber can't change the fact that the material just sucks. People who are familiar with the SPECTRE saga from the old Bond movies will just be annoyed shitless. Seriously, this movie just throws references at you over and over and over again, but not in a subtle way, but in a yeah, you want to see that, right? You want to see underground layers and shit. You want to see Dr. Evil doing his shit. Like, once they reached that point, I was like, fuck it, I'm out. I can't enjoy this movie anymore, because it went from a stupid popcorn flick to Austin Powers. And I was like, it can't get lower than that. And at some point, it actually did even get lower than that. For example, there's one scene where James Bond shoots a glass door, and his bullets actually create the SPECTRE symbol. I was like, holy shit, that's like some Batman and Robin bullshit, with Robin creating the Robin symbol while crashing through a wall. I was like, the fuck? And what I hate even more about the movie is that the movie tries desperately to destroy the legacy of Casino Royale and Skyfall by constantly linking these 2 great films to this abomination. So all in all, while still having some redeeming qualities and could be enjoyed as a guilty pleasure action flick, I sadly have to say that SPECTRE does not get a medal at all, because SPECTRE is a time stealer. Again, this is breaking my heart, but in an objective review, I have to be honest. So SPECTRE, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.